mi mano. Okay. You can always get Mason to read to you if you want. He's in the kitchen. If you want him to read to you, he probably would. Yep, you're cool here. You got your activities and your books. Puedes buscar Rama.
Yo le doy.
Sí, me contestaba. Una grita por allá, otra por acá. ¿Será que está en su cuarto?
No, no creo.
No.
Paula. Paula. Paula.
Hay que gritar así. ¡Paula! Eso.
Paula!
What's your knees?
Okay. Now Paula's like, all right, guys.
What's your knees, my love? No, no estaba inspirado, hay muchos mensajes. Oh, tengo su celular. Ese soy yo, su celular.
Ah, no. Sí puede ser que.
I know. A ver. Voy a
Sí
llamar.
puede ser que soy.
Ahí como que vienen ya.
¿Sí? Ahí está. Te estamos buscando.
No.
Ok, estamos en página 60 en Samasthiti. So on page 60, we have Sama. Sama is equal.
Sama es igual.
And you'll see that in a lot of different yoga texts.
En muchos textos.
So it's one of the words you can learn and it will repeat itself.
Igual. Sí.
Ah.
Then Stiti
Stiti,
is firm.
firme.
So this is your perfect balance,
Una pose
firm
de
pose.
balance o forma perfecta.
It's very difficult. Muy difícil. But it's not as it's not as difficult as downward dog.
No.
Difícil, pero no tanto como perro boca abajo.
But the one can result in the other.
What's that?
If you sleep, you can go from this very fast to the downward.
To downward dog. Yeah, exactly.
De hecho, creo que Iyengar, cuando él formaba a sus estudiantes en persona, el examen final era Samasthiti.
Uy.
Sí,
Tiene
ese era el
sentido.
examen final.
Pero que tiene difícil.
So Rama's saying that Iyengar, in his final exam, he would have students do this pose. So it's a mountain pose. Okay, so sometimes in some places they'll call it Tadasana, and other, which is the mountain
That's what
pose.
I'm used to.
So Samasthiti comes more from the Ashtanga Vinyasa lineage.
Actually, on that.
Hey, there's your buddy. You want to show him your new library books? Okay, I'll hold it. Yeah. Here are your cool library books. You guys gonna read? You have to read over there. So Tadasana is mountain, but it's the same pose.
Ah, entonces Samasthiti o Tadasana.
Sí, la Samasthiti.
Es la misma postura. Tadasana comes from classic hatha yoga. But you know where you'd be more comfortable? Sama. If you make a little cool house over there with the posters on the nice cushion mat because here it might be too
Samasthiti
loud.
viene de
You're okay there? Okay, I'll move
hashtag
forward.
confianza.
Okay, who wants to come and do this pose?
Oh, Franklin.
Voy a iniciar y voy a ir a hacer la pose.
Somebody do it.
All right, Franklin.
Ebony's doing it. She's going pose. Okay, so come on, stand here, looking at everybody. So we always want to start aligning from the foundation. It's like you're constructing a building. What would happen if the building's foundation was crooked? What happens?
Tus cimientos
I was just trying
se
to
puede caer.
Yeah, it could fall. What does the top of the building look like?
use all different.
Also crooked, or more crooked, right? Even if it's a little bit off at the beginning, if it's a little bit off at the beginning, that the top will really show it. So what's going on in our feet will even affect our teeth, our TMJ joint, temporomandibular joint. So a lot of kids that get braces, they could actually just work on the foundation of muscles in their feet, and they might not even have to have braces for years. And everything's connected. So if the foundation is off, then the top of the building will be out. So you can see there's I'd say about 2/3 of each class have a straight cervical spine. Straight. And it should be like a natural concave curve. Okay. But most people have lost it. And that all starts from the feet. So this point is really important. And to get your feet organized, aligned is really important in yoga. Because in yoga therapy, we have the capacity to heal the body because we're staying still and really aligned. Because if you're moving and then you're aligning, it's really hard to align when you're moving. So even like the kneecaps, right? If they're off to the side and you're running, there's really nothing you can do about that. Or if your hip has like weird things going on, or you run like this, the head of the femur bone won't be out of the hip socket, and you really can't do much. You can think kind of, move your feet in, but it'll be really hard. Oh, for an inch. Okay. But with yoga, you can actually align every part of the body to heal it, because you're static. Okay? So yoga therapy is a beautiful science. And we're learning the foundations of yoga therapy in this course. So you can heal so much just through aligning well and staying still. So as I said before, the injuries in our body come from having strength on one side of the joint and weakness on the other. So if my knee is really strong here, it'll pull my knees in. Right? And it'll be really weak there. Okay? My feet, for example, I have flat feet. Okay? So these muscles are more tight and these are more stretched. Right? It's pulling my foot this way. Okay? And the hips, if I'm standing like this, my butt's gonna be more tight. You actually might even have a nice shaped butt. Because all those muscles are constantly contracting to keep your hips attached to your legs and your legs attached to your hips, right? But then this will be overstretched. And then a lot of times, well, most people that say they have pain here come to me and they're walking like this, and like, well, your posture in every moment of the day is creating that weakness that can lead to pain when you have tears.
los becarios.
If you're like this every day for your life and then you're doing an activity and boom,
Y cuando se
you'll tear,
pum,
right? Then you're like, what happened? I did this yoga pose and I tore it. I wasn't even doing anything. I was like, but for the last 25, 30 years, you've been walking like this, and that's weakening the ligaments, and over time would probably lead to a tear, or even replacing parts of it. Because right here, if you walk like this, that head of your femur bone is out of the socket all day.
También la cabeza del fémur está fuera de la carga
Todo el día.
todo el día.
Then you're running like this.
Correr de esa forma también.
You're doing yoga
O hacer
like
yoga
this,
de esa forma.
just completely stressing
Completamente
this area.
estresando esa área.
So,
Entonces,
so what we want to really make sure is that the feet are parallel.
que los pies estén paralelos.
It's about 2/5 the distance.
Sí, ajá. Dos puños de distancia.
And for women, actually our pelvises are wider than the men's pelvis, so it's 2 and then a little bit more.
Entonces, recomiendan
Yeah,
dos y un
exactly.
poquito.
We can use the strap though to get really nerdy.
Van a usar la correa.
Because really alignments are geometric.
Los alineamientos son geométricos.
We're just lining our bones up.
Es alinear los huesos.
So find the head of the iliac crest. So it's the top of your hip where the bone sticks out. Where's your bone that's sticking out?
Donde los huesitos salen.
Yeah, there you go.
Un poquito más. Sí. Por
Oh,
la cadera. Sí, naturalmente la cadera es
cute
más
little
ancha.
hip bone.
Especialmente después del parto también, entonces un poquito más de los puños de distancia.
La pelvis en sí es más ancha de la mujer. En sí. So I was just repeating that the women's pelvis is wider than the men's. So esto es donde sale the crest iliaca. This is her iliac crest.
En esa zona.
And you want it right into the middle of the front of the ankle, right here. Straight line. So she's good. Iliac crest. And she's looking good. What?
You ever ridden a bike
Your knees.
before?
Yeah. So lift up your pants.
Yeah.
Okay, so good. Her feet are aligned, and you can see they're really, I mean, the heels are looking back. Están mirando hacia atrás. And so a lot of times you'll tell students to do this, but they're not looking at their heels, so they don't realize they're not pointing back. So I'll be like, now check your heels. I'll do that. I did that in the class yesterday. I'll do that a lot. I'll be like, 2 fists, feet parallel. Now check your heels. Because they're like, oh yeah, my feet are parallel. But they're not looking at their heels. So now her knees go in, right? So she's going to have to do more work. Okay, so lift up the toes. Okay, microflex the knees, and then just move them out. And then at the same time, try to keep 4 points of contact on the ground. Now she's working. How does that feel just to do that? Keep the toes up for a second. Yeah?
Yeah,
That's strong.
I feel what it's a little, it's funny because it feels unnatural, but it feels better.
Yeah, and it's probably even relieving your neck, just doing that. Does it, do you just release everything and then do it again? Pay attention to your neck right now. Okay, now do it. Move the knees out. Yeah. Micro bend and then you move around it up. And then 4 points. Do you feel a little bit of a release in the neck?
Yeah.
And we haven't even
I
lined
feel
her.
like I'm gonna keep doing this.
Yeah. So ella sí tiene como el cuello lesionado. She has the neck injured from an accident, right? So just by doing this, it'll start to release the tension in her cervical spine. Cool.
Yeah.
So you can just do this all, whenever you're washing dishes or just standing. Okay, so you can do this in yoga, like if you have anything going on in your body that's not 100% like feeling good, you can do this during the whole practice. It might feel a little bit extreme,
don't know.
But if you have any injuries or reoccurring injuries, especially in the lower extremities, I would do this, or that would be my recommendation, yoga
I'd say
therapy.
shell
Si
as well.
tiene lesiones,
But it could be anything going on in the body. This will give you the solid foundation.
ella
Now-
necesitaría hacer eso.
Now, she doesn't have to do this, but she can decide. But she can at least keep everything activated and then bring her toes down and find 4 points of contact. Just keep that there, and that will at least give a nice solid foundation.
Ya tiene un fundamento bien sólido.
Okay. So you guys can decide on that. Okay. Then the belly comes in just a little bit. There. And you want to make sure that the coccyx is looking towards the earth.
Está apuntándose a la
It's
tierra,
not coming
que no esté
forward.
hacia el coxis.
Okay, so if you had a little tail, that thing's looking at the ground like this, not like this. Could you just like push your pelvis forward, like tuck the tailbone, tuck the belly? This for her will not help with anything.
Ya, esto para ella no le va a
Okay,
ayudar en
so
nada.
in this course, we're never going to say tuck the tailbone, just tuck the tailbone. It's always tuck the tailbone towards the earth.
Sino apunta el coxis hacia la tierra.
So it's like this, not like this. And what that will do is start to align all the vertebrae of the spine.
Entonces, eso lo que hace es alinear todas las
Yeah, right there,
vértebras
just
de la
about there.
columna.
And then the ribs are in, the belly's engaged. This can just be slight. Open up your palms and then bring your shoulders towards your ears. And then together and down, down. Now your chin comes in just a little bit. And it's as if somebody was like pulling on your ears or like this.
Agarre de las orejas y lleve hacia
Actually, that really
That's nice, yeah. Because, and that will start to create a curve again in the cervical spine.
formar una curva
Like that.
nuevamente en la
So we're
cervical.
never just like look up for a second. We're never doing like that. You're always gonna look at the horizon.
Cada vez que vayas a hacer eso, mira hacia el horizonte.
Hands are active and bright. Beautiful.
These are not shoes, instead they are slippers.
And then she's now aligned and she can
Ahorita
soften her
bien
face,
alineada,
soften the heart, soften the
el
mouth.
corazón.
Look,
Yeah.
we do this. We can cut this.
Like I've been standing wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So find a friend.
Encuentra,
Start from the ground up.
empieza desde abajo hacia arriba.
Yeah. And
That's
it's
just
even like even when I relax, it was like
Yeah.
a.
Yeah. So now you know. Okay.
Orejas.
Oh.
With her? Yeah.
Okay, a ver, párate.
Para ver cómo ellos han ido avanzando con lo de los curiosos.
Traigo la cuerda, la corriente.
Do you have a piece of paper?
For what?
Espero que me.
Like something that you wouldn't use, like a scrap piece of paper?
Or toilet paper?
Es de este huesito, ¿cierto? Sí.
That might work. Let's go see.
Sí, aquí estaría alineada.
Sí. Pregunta a ella. ¿Cómo se siente?
Yo lo veo.
No.
Pues yo no entiendo la diferencia. Si estuviera así, ¿no estaría alineado?
So, hay que buscar como una línea, ¿no? Que sea eso o eso. ¿Ya? Yo creo que este lado, mirando, donde está la cresta de acá. ¿Ya? Es justo aquí, más.
Y aquí. Pero no entiendo qué es lo que tengo que ver.
Esta línea aquí va derecha. Hasta derecho, hasta allá. ¿Ves? Es una línea recta. Entonces yo para ella diría abre un poquito más los pies. Like just tiny. Ya, ahí. Ya sería una línea recta. Aquí hasta este punto.
Y miro el otro, ¿cierto? A ver si el otro está ahí.
Revisa si están un poquito hiperextendidas en las rodillas. Siempre
¿Cómo se mira?
espacio.
Aquí está
detrás de la
perfecto.
mano.
Your paper.
Ya
¿Cierto?
está bien.
¿Y ¿Cómo miro las dos?
Entonces, mira, chicas, una cosa más aquí, one more thing. Si están como al revés acá, si if they're like pushing back, where is Ebony? Yeah, if the knees do this type of thing, that you have to micro bend too and get the knees over the ankles.
Gotcha. Knees over ankles on my forbidden.
Entonces, bueno, los pies están bien.
Ah, ¿están parados?
Sí,
No
están
está
bien.
bien derecha.
Está con la medida.
Más.
Mirando por
Dedos,
arriba.
dedos más adentro, dedos más adentro. Dedos, and then move your heels out. Más. Ahí. Ahí.
¿Y los talones?
So different.
Casi así.
Come more on the mat, you're a little off the mat.
Los talones. Está hacia adentro, ¿no?
Yeah, está bien. Microflex, a little bit more.
Oh, nice.
Ahí.
This is like, I have a little bit of trouble sometimes with these things. Because they're like contradicting with a little bit what I know about the body.
This is contradicting with physio.
Yeah, there's an, like, I know that the posture is meant to be parallel,
Yeah.
but the natural is 11-degree open. The natural average of the body is 11-degree open because of the internal rotation of the hip and the counter rotation of the hip. But I know that the yoga pose is not like this.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Well, try it, and
This is
then
on
move
the-
your heels a little
Make
bit
one?
more this way. Yeah.
I
know it's weird. And then micro bend your knees and move them out a little. Yeah. Lift up your toes.
something to that.
Lift up your toes. Yeah, micro bend a little bit more. Yeah, lift up your toes. And then bring the weight on the inside too. How's that feel?
Ahí está bien las piernas.
Mm,
You have to keep the weight on this side too. That's the hard part. Yeah, and then micro bend your knees a little, move them out.
yeah, you like inducing a counter rotation to the whole system.
But we're not we're gonna align the
Which is
hips
fine.
after that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, since you're doing an internal rotation from the
Mhm.
start,
Yeah.
then you have to external rotate everything.
Right.
Yeah.
You get it?
Do I have to bend it so much?
Tienes que tender a...
You're gonna just there's a little bit of a space so that they can get over the ankles. So bend a little bit more. Move them out to the side. Yeah. I mean that's the ideal.
Yeah.
But at least that they're not hyperextended. ¿Cómo la ves?
Pues yo veo bien, pero veo que de todas formas hay que siempre girar un poquitico las piernas hacia afuera. O sea que naturalmente no las tiene como hacia adentro.
Naturalmente,
Uno tiende a ponerlas hacia adentro.
Dependiendo de la persona también. No hay natural para nadie, ¿no? Unos tienen más adentro, otros
sí,
más
hay gente
afuera.
que tiene las.
Y vamos a ver
rotaciones así.
eso cuando estamos en las caderas.
Oh, cool.
Ellas sí
Like
tienen
that.
la tendencia de así.
Ah, más afuera.
Ajá.
Tienes que meterlo.
Like a mat.
Pero no estamos mirando tanto las caderas y vamos a enfocar un montón. Ahora es por lo menos que está recta todo y ya.
Ok. Y entonces explícame bien lo de las... Esto.
Ujú, solamente ombligo adentro para ahora.
Ah, ok.
Ajá.
Digo adentro.
Y eso.
When you
Palmas hacia afuera.
¿Y qué más?
Hombros atrás de las orejas, hombros afuera de las orejas.
¿Qué más? Ah, la.
Y el mentón.
Y puedes tener acá detrás de ella. Y levantas un poquito.
Ahí tiene el mentón.
¿Ya? Intenta aquí. Y pon adentro.
Now, try the mat.
¿Cómo estaba antes?
¿Cómo te sientes?
No está tan realmente.
En aquel momento me acuerdo que sí era como que muy evidente.
Claro, porque no estamos acostumbrados.
No, porque yo aprendí.
Hacia que lado el como más.
Eso está
es que
abajo.
esa posición para la
Esta está
postura está
arriba y
bien.
está como
Como la postura es definida así,
Está como
pero la manera en total el cuerpo es.
Pero no mucho.
El promedio es que
A ver,
la gente tiene
grados.
11 grados.
11 grados de qué?
Eso es como...
Es,
Ah, ya. No,
si,
hacia
si miras toda la gente del mundo, el
Sí,
promedio
así.
son 11 grados. Hay gente que tiene así, hay gente que tiene así. Pero
Okay,
se
look at the
resulta
rope.
por las rotaciones de la
No, no debería ser tan profesional.
Over there.
Eso no es el...
What kind of rope?
Por eso es...
Where? Like a strap?
Pero con la postura es para tener un mejor
Or
Desempeño.
simetría y
for what?
Movimientos.
To make a mask?
supongo. Pero no
So
sé.
it's good.
Como a mí me
Yeah.
enseñaron
String?
Skinny.
no
I
insistir
think
que
I
la
have
gente
my
hace los
pencil
ejercicios
box.
así, porque le pone las rodillas en una posición que normalmente no tiene.
Porque queda más cerrada.
Normalmente estás así.
Okay.
Sí, normalmente yo
Todos, lo vas a ver.
We could
Vas
make
a
that.
mirar
Right,
todos
to make
están
Make
así.
one.
Pero para la
cuando piden que la
postura,
bailarina de ballet que tengan esa
eso es extremo.
Eso es demasiado.
Hay gente, pero yo quiero porque eso les explico que está rotada.
Yeah, me said that you were gonna go find them.
Hay como unas rotaciones aquí. También el fémur está.
Entonces naturalmente se paran y están así. No tengo nada de eso. Sí, hay gente que sí. Aquí tienen más.
Sí, sí, no hay.
Porque
Sí,
sí,
por
sí,
la posición.
sí,
Súper cerrada.
ok. ¿Quieres?
Ahora yo. Digamos que
Mire, mire un
Ah,
poquito. Uy, mucho. Mucho, mucho.
¿Mucho?
Sí. Sí, sí, sí. Sí. Aquí tienes que ver súper.
Yo no tengo tantas cadenas. ¿Y las rodillas? Así.
I'm gonna
Poco
and
menos.
I'm realizing that, and it's mostly cultural, but we tend to stand.
Así.
And and I'm like,
Las mujeres aquí le ponen
that
así.
Yeah,
small tuck is
it's-
so different.
And there's a lot of, it's lower dose, hyper lower dose is like extreme curve in that community. And a lot of lower back pain.
Sí, puedes
Sí,
poner un
pues
poco
cuando
más.
uno camina así es donde tienes el dolor aquí.
Sí, yo no me por eso.
¿Sí entiendes?
Yeah,
¿Entiendes?
I don't have much to
A la
plug.
postura, bueno.
No.
No es nada. Ok, después.
But the thing is, like,
Y ahora,
it's all
Tú
muscles,
pusiste una
right? So
rotación interna.
if I like engage more here, my
Y
butt
entonces
will
ahora
actually grow
tienes
more,
la-
but my
para
posture is
alinearte
kind of
a-
like just like
ahorita.
I don't engage my butt muscles in my posture in the way that I stand. But
Y yo no tengo esto así, pero.
déjame ver.
It feels like
¿Esa es la máxima?
we got,
Para. De mi opinión está bien. Tu máximo porque no está.
you know, like because we are living
Estás un
however
poco-
we choose to live.
yeah.
And now it's like we're not really, like, you know, like a bear moves like a bear.
Yeah,
And we're kind of not moving like humans in a sense. So you have to like teach us how to stand like a human, how to.
How to get back to the center, right? Because these are all energetic
Yeah.
centers. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Me siento como para una foto.
Te ves súper linda.
Wow.
She looks good, huh?
Bien.
Porque estamos alineando energía también. Los canales energéticos. We're aligning our energetic channels as well.
Sí, una posición espectacular. Mira, algo tan
Are you trying to
simple
make it?
y a la vez complejo.
Make
Ah,
that.
pero esa es la.
Y eso hay que
Pues
hacer.
aquí es como descansas en la postura. Y ya siempre voy a terminar en. Okay,
Oh,
super.
yeah.
So we'll probably do this. Vamos a hacer cosas como.
Siempre con eso.
One more on.
Sí, pero ella tiene
Can you
más.
tie it?
You don't have much.
Yo tengo más rotación.
Ella tiene
So
mucho.
first.
Hay más espacio para mí.
Sí,
Pero cuando yo camino, es de piernas y brazos.
sí.
Tengo que pensar mucho en mi
Por eso los planos.
pero están planos. Pero no tengo ningún dolor en mi cuerpo.
Bendito
Ah,
sea
no,
Dios.
La
bendito sea
gente que
Dios.
tiene pies
Santo
planos,
Padre.
ay, tengo este
Sufre
dolor por
mucho.
arriba.
Se
No,
opera.
se operan todo, entonces ahí son los resultados. So a lot, we were just talking, my rotation is more this way. And this foot, when I walk, has the tendency to go, and I have to really think, like, keep the foot out, keep the foot out. But I have flat feet, and most people with flat feet, either they end up with surgeries, they end up with pain in the right. I don't have any pain in my body at all. I might walk a little funny, but I don't have pain in my body. They're the results, right, of an aligned yoga practice for many years. Esos son los resultados de una práctica de yoga alineada por muchos años. And my first student, who was a physical therapist, looked at me and he was like, "Your body is amazing." And I was like, "Thank you." And he's gay, so he wasn't hitting on me. El primer fisioterapeuta que tomé curso conmigo, dijo, "Tu cuerpo es increíble", ¿no? Como, wow, puede existir un cuerpo así sin dolor, ¿no? Because like you can have a body like that without pain. That's incredible. You know? And then he stayed and lived with me for like 3 years. Ahí se quedó y vivió conmigo 6 años. And now he's heading the yoga for physical therapy in one of the universities here. Y ahora es como el maestro de yoga para los fisios de una de las universidades más importantes.
Wow.
So now how to go from up to down. ¿Cómo vamos de arriba hacia abajo? Okay. Paula, ¿cómo vamos?
Quick question.
Yeah.
This is life or birth?
For what?
Like the knees, the way, because it's like if my hips are so wide, wouldn't my knees point out? Or have I conditioned them to?
Like, okay, what's the question?
Okay, so my knees, like even if I stand like this,
Yeah.
you know?
Uh-huh.
So it's like, was that birth or is that like life?
Oh, okay. Like, were you born that way or is it developed over time? So the thing is, the body creates itself every 7 years. El cuerpo se regenera cada 7 años. So giving that answer, so then why do we have like different physical things in the body that just stay the same?
Yeah.
So why? Anybody know?
Because you didn't change.
Because you haven't changed, right? And a lot of times we do walk like our parents walk, or we are born. So first of all, we can walk like our parents walk, because that's a mile. Second, we could just be born that way. There are kids that are born with scoliosis, like, weird things in their body. But in the yoga philosophy, it would say in a past life, energetically in that chakra, they were affected. So because we move from one body to the next with the same energetic and mental print from our past lives. So that's why some of us will be born with more hips. And if I look at your astrological chart, I can see you'll have like more earth or water and you'll have hips. And you're like, why do I have my hips? And others will be like, wow, I have my hips, right? And that means that in your past life, you had an energetic print of the first chakra, of family, of earth, of survival, career, right? That was the main focus in your life. And then you're born to have this earthy, watery form, okay? And then somebody that maybe did more of, they're connected, or they're more like yogis, or just like not so connected to here and now, then they'll maybe be more skinny, or they'll have less energy in their lower body. So they'll have skinnier legs, So how we are energetically is going to show in your body this lifetime, but it might have been what you developed last lifetime, because that travels with you. And the body represents where the energy is this lifetime. And the different elements too. So when we get into Ayurveda, we see somebody that's like more earth and water, they'll have bigger bones, they'll have a bigger form. Somebody and they're connected with the first 2 chakras, which is more about like life and survival and family and the mother, right? Those that are more muscular, medium built.
Mommy, look at the map.
Those are people that are connected with like the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th chakra. So like the passion for life, creativity, right? So that's more active in them, more fire. And they are born with it, and from the moment of conception, they have this energetic blueprint, and you can see it on the astrological chart that we read, because we study the Vedic philosophy and the Vedic astrology. So we can see it, like without looking at you, I could tell you, just by looking at your chart, what your body would look like.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have trouble with this.
I know, but I can do it. So And that's where, because it's so precise.
Puede llegar a ser muy
And then the injuries that we have and the tendencies in our bodies, they're already in the chart. Like there's medical Vedic astrology. So I can look at the chart and be like, you could have the tendency towards this, but we always have free will. We can always change our karma. We can always change the energy in our body. So nothing's set in
Eso es lo que
stone.
preguntar, esos cambios, porque yo he notado que uno de todas formas va cambiando con la vida.
Sí,
Vas cambiando mucho.
Yeah,
vas
big grass
cambiando
around
mucho.
here.
Entonces quiere decir que estás teniendo una transformación en cada época.
Y puede ser, hay personas que se transforman, otras que no. Puede ser tu vida así o así, pero otras personas no tienen tantos ciclos tan distintos o no tienen tanto movimiento emocional, mental en su carta. Pero otros que han nacido para la transformación. Todos los que estamos aquí hemos nacido para
Yo he sentido
transformarnos.
que cada época ha sido
Sí, completamente distinta. So she's saying, but we're always here to transform, right? So some people transform during their lifetime. Like us, if we're here because we like transformation. Other people, they stay quite stagnant in their lifetime. You know, but if it's here because you're looking for transformation, or it's coming to you. Por una razón estás aquí para vivir la transformación. You're here for one reason or another to live that transformation. And I've seen it, you know, and I've lived it. Lo he visto, lo he vivido, you know. I've read hundreds of astrological charts, and you can see these tendencies. He visto, sí, siempre veo como los patrones de las personas. But then why does our body grow in a certain way? You know, it's like energetically traits, and each part of the body is connected with different aspects of our life. So there's a book by Lisa Hayes. Lisa Hayes. And it's and I'll tell you, it's like a dictionary of Louise Hayes, right? And it's a dictionary, like, if you have pain in your elbow, it's connected with control. If you have pain in your right knee, it's connected with your dad, and then giving affirmations to move through it. Yeah?
¿Cómo se llama el libro?
I do
Heal
remember the
your
name.
body.
Healing your body, right?
Heal your body.
Heal your body. Okay, so we start to put together sanar tu cuerpo. And it just Louise
Les
Hayes.
puedo mandar en el grupo.
Yeah.
Ay, por favor.
en español.
A ver.
Sí, ¿cómo sanar tu cuerpo?
¿Quién? ¿Qué otro?
Yo se lo consigo más tarde.
Louise Hayes.
Teléfono, rama.
Pero creo que es Lisa.
Yo se lo consigo más tarde y si
Yeah, yeah,
encuentro
super
el
fácil.
subo ahí al grupo.
But it just starts to understand why our body forms in certain ways, why we have pain in certain places too, and even if they're accidents. Even if it's an accident, it means there's something going on in that part of your body that's just vulnerable, energetically, you know?
They were telling me to get surgery, and I was like, I'll try everything else first.
Yeah, try everything else first if that's
Why
what
do you
you
have pain?
believe in, you know?
I was hit by a car, and it, you know, I was kind of okay in the sense of I didn't have any major issues, like you know, I didn't lose a limb,
Yeah.
or, you know, but because of
show everybody.
how medical situations are handled in the States, I didn't really get the best of care. So I kind of started trying to heal myself naturally.
Yep.
It was, and then I was finding out all of these things about myself because now I'm,
Yeah.
the issue is they like to tell you, but they won't show you, and I had to beg for images.
Yep.
I had to beg for it, and I was having to pay out of pocket to go get an MRI because they wouldn't, you know, like say, okay, well, we'll take an MRI, or let's take an X-ray to make sure nothing's broken. They didn't do a head scan, they didn't do anything. They were just like, nothing's broken, you're fine.
Yeah.
So I was just like, but I'm still in pain.
And so what happens and how it works in this life is we have this karma. right?
What are you doing?
And
Customized.
that just gave me chills. So you have this karma,
This one?
and you have to suffer through different things. The more you purify it, the more those things maybe aren't as strong. Like what happens, like you didn't break, you didn't like lose limbs or anything, but you still have to go through some sort of pain and awakening to awaken you, to find your purpose here. Right? And then you go through this transformation, this understanding, and then you're able to share it. So it's like this double-sided mirror. So like on a chart like that, you might have the planet like Mars in your house of healing, because through an accident, it's waking up that inner healer to be in service through healing to others. So we could even look just to prove my, right? It has to be. There has to be some Mars going on in there. So it's like, and I'm just giving these like concrete scientific information from the systems of India because they're so precise. But they're not pessimistic or just trying to be like, you have this karma. It's like, the more you serve, the more you're selfless and just here to just like use these wake up moments to serve others. You'll be able to see the beauty in everything, But it's also, if it's like these chakras affected, there's some work to do with communication, communicating who you are to the world, loving relationships. So it also will reflect on you to do the work in those chakras. It's like the time you get the opportunity, and it might even come from past lives. And or generational stuff if you don't want to look at past lives, but it's all a part of it. Nothing is, this happened to me, I'm the victim. It's, this is my opportunity to wake up and to heal really deep-rooted stuff. And you can get it if you want to do the work. Most people don't want to do the work.
Or you're part of a culture that says, here's the work.
Here's the pill. Pill surgery, you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
And what happens is, you might get a surgery to fix that thing, and that same pain will come back. And even the pictures will show that you shouldn't have that pain, but you do, because you haven't fixed the energetic cause for that pain. Or the kneecap moves back. Because until you really fix it, the body just goes back into those patterns. So pain is a teacher. Pain is a teacher.
Sí, claro, yo tuve que hacer un proceso muy largo.
Muy largo.
Muy largo. Y me doy cuenta de eso que estás diciendo, que cuando yo estaba embarazada, yo nunca me había enfermado en toda mi vida, era sana. Ni las gripas me pegaban. Pero cuando me dio la embolia pulmonar, se murió todo, eso es gravísimo, ¿no? Yo estaba embarazada. Y yo sé que yo creé esa embolia, porque yo paso a paso la creé, durante mi embarazo. Para mí el embarazo fue algo demasiado enorme, como que yo decía, no, voy a tener una persona, un ser humano con patas, cabeza y pies. Entonces, cuando la creé, ya después me hicieron unos análisis y salió algo muy pequeño en la sangre que no era para tanto, o sea, como un defecto muy pequeño. La sangre tiene muchas cosas, sería solo una sola cosa. Bueno, pero el embarazo, no sé qué. Y yo dije, yo sabía que iba a tener esta enfermedad. Bueno, y ahora me dijeron, eso nunca se quita porque eso que tienes en la sangre, eso es como tener los ojos verdes, toda la vida van a ser verdes. Y yo dije, no, se me va a quitar. Y se me quitó. Ahora ya no tengo eso, ya está todo normal. Y los médicos dicen, qué raro, pero si eso es una cosa genética. Claro, porque yo siento, toda mi vida he sentido como cierro ciclos. Esto, acabé este ciclo, acabé este ciclo, acabé. Entonces, sí es verdad que las cosas cambian, pero sí hay que hacer un proceso. Con la rodilla también lo hice. No es como que voy, me opero ya. Sino que hay que hacer un montón de cosas, investigar, entender, profundizar. Y luego, si ya ves que es necesario, pues te operas. Porque yo no podía caminar, ya me tocaba operarme. Pero es como decir, bueno, ya lo hago. Pero no es como dicen a veces los médicos que, ya.
Nunca es así.
Nunca es así.
No.
A menos que sea una cosa de urgencia que te estás muriendo. Pero aún así requiere un proceso.
Es un proceso.
Sí, eso es increíble.
So she was just sharing her experience. Like during the pregnancy, she got this thing in her blood, and then the doctor said it would never go away, and it just went away. Like she doesn't have it, And they're like, that's a miracle. And she's done her work, each part of her body to heal it. It's like going through one cycle at a time and learning through it. And she's just reaffirming what we were just saying. Like there's always work to do if there's pain in the body. Siempre hay trabajo para hacer, si hay dolor en el cuerpo. And in Ayurveda, we look at it as anything that's uncomfortable is a sign that something's off. You know, even just a little bit of discomfort. But en Ayurveda dice que hasta cualquier señal de descomodidad, eso o incomodidad, eso ya es una señal que algo no está alineado. Y miramos eso como una señal grande, no como, ay, tengo dolores de cabeza de vez en cuando. No debes tener dolores de cabeza. Eso ya es la primera etapa de 6 etapas de enfermedades y te puede llevar a una situación crónica. So, in Ayurveda, right, if it's even, we have headaches once in a while, that is serious. That's serious. That's first level of getting to the 6th level of a chronic disease. But if we get it at the beginning, you won't get to that chronic disease, right?
Yeah. Because for, you know, I know for a fact in the US, it's like, if it's not a migraine, if it's just a headache, it'll pass.
It'll pass.
And you're just like, but I have a headache.
Yeah, and it's serious, like, we shouldn't have headaches.
No?
We shouldn't have cramps, we shouldn't have headaches, we shouldn't be anxious, depressed. Like, we should be aligned, and there's a word for it which is swastha, right? Swastha in Sanskrit. It's being in the seat of yourself. Being aligned, being in harmony with yourself and nature. And that's where we can be.
Remember, bring it.
But most of us aren't even close to being in nature, you know, like with ourselves or with Mother Nature. But we're just another being out here. We're just another animal. You know? The birds go to sleep, we should go to sleep. You know? Birds wake up, we should wake up. We're very disconnected. And that will bring pain to get us back, as a wake-up call to get us back to our nature.
So like, something like anxiety, it should be like a temporary emotion instead of a chronic. Okay.
Yeah. Because there's things you can do, but you might have to do the work, you know?
Like that?
There's no quick fix, but there is a fix. You know? Okay, so let's look at Uttanasana on the next page. On page 61. So we have Uttana is intense stretch.
Uttanasana.
Uttanasana.
Usa, yo me la sé. Toda la guerra hemos hecho para tener.
Okay, so in Uttanasana, the hardest part is going up and down.
You're making me hot.
Up and
La parte más difícil. Es very hard, okay? So the tendency in this is to just bring all the weight back as you're going up and down. And we want to have 4 points of contact always. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have the seesaw principle in anatomy. Seesaw como una palanca. Como es en los parques de los niños.
Sub y baja.
Sub y baja.
Columpio.
No, el que es como que
Una
niños se
tabla
sientan en los
Es sub y baja.
Sub y
Sub y
baja.
baja.
Ajá.
So when one part of the body goes back, the other part comes forward, right? So this is going back, this is coming forward. Okay. But what this is going to do is bring the knees hyperextended back, or just overstretch the back of the knee, and then bring stretch to where the hamstrings meet the sit bone. Okay? So we have tendons there, right? Con el isquion.
Yo pensé que ese es el efecto que no tenía que tener, que se estira conmigo.
So that's a tendon. Okay? We never want to overstretch tendons. We want to be stretching our muscles when we're doing fast, fluid exercise. Okay? So we want to go towards the meat of the hamstring when we stretch, not where we have ligaments and tendons. Okay? This is really important because what happens is the people that just are constantly doing this, every time they go up and down, they end up with something called yoga butt.
Terminas con algo que se llama trasero de yoga.
A lot of pain in the butt.
Bastante
It's
dolor
pain right here.
en esa zona, exactamente.
Because they're not flexible in their muscles. They're just stretching, stretching, stretching this tendon. And we will stretch ligaments and tendons safely when we do yin yoga.
Entonces estiramos seguramente los ligamentos y tendones en yin yoga.
It's when your body is cold,
Cuando el cuerpo está frío,
so you can get in slowly to the ligaments and tendons and the fascia, which are the connective tissues. Okay? But it's very slow, and you're not trying to go to the most extreme stretch. It's up to 60% of stretch, and that's a safe way to stretch slowly those connective tissues.
para entrar lentamente al
But when
interior
we're doing these
conectivo.
fast flows, we want to be in the muscles.
Más rápidos, quieres trabajar los músculos.
So you'll find your four corners, you'll find your alignments, then you'll inhale up and exhale down. Hold on, they've got to see my legs. They got to see. Do this next to me so they can see see both of our legs, and then you can do my adjustment. Yeah. Okay. So when you come down, you want to micro bend the weight, your knees, and bring the weight into the base of your toes. Instead of just letting that all the weight goes back to your heels. One move out of the way just for a second so Ebony can see, and then you can do the adjustment. So here's the difference.
Hay una diferencia en eso.
This is the normal.
La forma normal.
I'm completely hyperextending my knees.
Hiperextendiendo completamente las
Okay?
rodillas.
And I'm just stretching the back of my knees and my butt.
La parte de atrás de las rodillas
It
y
feels
la
super
pierna.
weird. And this knee's already starting to hurt because I already have weakness there from years of running.
Eso está mal hecho.
Eso.
Okay? But that's common. And here too.
Igual allí en esa posición.
Okay? So what we're going to learn to do is how to keep the weight over the toes, 4 points of contact, the knees micro bend. And then as you go down, you want to feel the stretch in the middle of your hamstrings pressing up. Okay, so everybody stand up and we're going to do that. So find your 2 fists, check your heels. If you want to realign your knees, you can.
Alinea las rodillas.
Okay, so just do it normally.
Hazlo normalmente.
Inhale up.
Inhalas.
Stick out your butt. Lean forward. Hyperextend your knees. Great.
Hiperextiende las
Keep that.
rodillas.
Inhale. Come on up. Where do you feel the stretch?
Sabes que a mí me duele mucho aquí también.
Yeah. So her lower back.
For me, it was.
The knee.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel it?
Like middle of the issues.
Yeah. Like right behind the knee. Okay. So let's change a little. Hands to the hips.
Las manos a las caderas.
Micro bend your knees.
Microflexiona
Bring
las
your weight more
rodillas.
towards your toes.